Hi, Peter Jones, author, property investor and ex-chartered surveyor, and I had a great question in about how to raise the funds to pay for a deposit for a buy-to-let property. And the actual specific question was, are there any commercial lenders out there who will lend me the deposit for my buy-to-lets? Now, sadly, it doesn't work like that. What you'll find is that most, if not all, and it probably is all, buy-to-let lenders do not want you to use borrowed funds from a third party for a buy-to-let. What we're talking about, if you have a 75% loan-to-value mortgage, for example, the bank will give you the 75%, you will have to put in the 25%. So let's just have a think about where we can find that money. Now, the first thing is, some lenders, not all, but some, in fact I go as far as to say in good times, many buy-to-let lenders would be quite happy if you took equity out of your home or out of another buy-to-let property, and you could use that for your deposit. Now that sounds a little bit back to front because I've just said they don't like you using borrowed funds. But as long as you're borrowing effectively from yourself because it's your equity in your home or it's your equity in your other investment properties, many, not all, but many lenders are okay with that. So you could use equity, released equity. Of course, you could use savings if you've got savings. If you've got other investments such as stocks and shares, you could sell that. Another way to get a deposit, which some people use, is to use a gifted deposit. Now, a gifted deposit, as the term suggests, is meant to be a gift. So it's a gift from somebody like a close relative, like a parent or grandparents. And most buy-to-let lenders will allow you to use a gifted deposit. Now, the solicitor, when they're arranging the conveyance, will ask you to sign a letter confirming that it is a gift and not a loan and that there's no intention to pay that money back. So that's just one thing to be careful of. How else could you raise the money for a deposit? Well, strangely enough, you may actually jump ahead in the process because, strange though it may sound, it's easier actually to borrow 100% of the purchase price of the property, usually anyway, rather than going for the 25%, depending upon who you're approaching to borrow the money from. Borrow 100%, for example, from a friend or a relative or a business partner, a JV partner. Buy the property outright. If you follow the BRR model, you can add value and then you can refinance and then you can pay your JV partner back. And do the banks mind doing that? No, the banks don't mind doing that. As long as there's enough equity in the property once the refurb or the added value has been completed, as long as there's enough equity in the property, they'll be quite happy to lend you the amount which will hopefully be able to be a good contribution to paying back your JV partner, your friend, your relative, whoever it is you did the deal with. So those are just a few very simple ideas. The last idea was perhaps a little bit more sophisticated, maybe not quite for a beginner, but something to aspire to, and I hope you found that helpful. And if you come over to my website, www.thepropertyteacher.co.uk, and click on Learning with Peter, you'll find loads of great resources, including my best-selling home study course, The Successful Property Investor's Strategy Workshop, in which I'll take you through how I started my property business with literally none of my own money and bought £2 million worth of property in just 4 years and replaced my day job with passive income from the portfolio. It took me 4 years of trial and error to learn the best way to do this. But because I'm going to show you everything I did right so that you can copy it, and everything I did wrong so that you can avoid it, I'm sure you can achieve far more than me and far more quickly. So please visit my website for full details of this and all of my other resources. Until next time, here's to successful property investing. If you found this video useful, please like, follow and subscribe, and then we can keep in touch and I can send you even more great content. And until next time, here's to successful property investing.